Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching Raiders Report, brought to you by Wager Talk. Today's episode, the 6 most important games for the Oakland Raiders in 2019. The Raiders, the NFL might hate them because we have the hardest schedule based on 2018 win percentage. Games against 10 wins teams, 7 of them. Games against playoff teams, 7 of them. The Oakland Raiders will travel the most in the NFL. We have the hardest schedule, and we play a lot of playoff teams. All I'm saying, people are talking. I think the NFL hates the Oakland Raiders. So the way that I'm going to break this down is I'm going to start at the hardest game. I'm going to start at week 1, and I'm basically going to roll all the way through the 6 most important games for the Oakland Raiders. The most important game to start it off here, it's week 1, the Denver Broncos. And you need to start week 1 on a positive note. You're playing on Monday Night Football. They just traded for Joe Flacco. They have a new head coach. Well, guess what? The Oakland Raiders, the last time they played in Oakland against the Broncos, they got that sweet W. Now, another reason why I think this is one of the more important games for the Raiders, because when I look at the past success of the Raiders making the playoffs, they win week 1. So here are the last 5 times that the Raiders made the playoffs. 2016, 2002, 2001, 2000, and 1993, my birth year. What do they all have in common? Wins. Wins against the Saints, Seahawks, Chiefs, Chargers, and Vikings. We need to win week 1. Let's get the ball rolling in the right direction. But we're talking about playoffs. Playoffs. Will the Raiders make the playoffs in 2019? I want you to type Y for yes or type N for no. If you want to comment, be an overachiever on how many wins the Raiders are going to have in 2019, go for it. I would totally support it. Week 2, the second most important game here for the Raiders, going up against the defending AFC West champs, led by Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is an incredible quarterback, okay? He really, truly is. But they are dealing with some issues here with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, he had 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. But the fact that Patrick Mahomes could be without his go-to guy, Tyreek Hill, which at this point, I would be astonished if Tyreek Hill is playing for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2019. He's a super dynamic receiver, but in terms of off-the-field stuff, he's got to get it together. Now, if let's say the Chiefs don't have Tyreek Hill, how many games would they win in 2019? And will the Chiefs make the playoffs in 2019? I think when you look at the AFC, you look at the AFC West, I don't really consider the Broncos a legitimate threat for the title. I think it's between the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Chargers. Now, you might get mad at me for saying this, but I think the Chargers are still the best team in the AFC West. I think the Raiders and the Chiefs will battle it out for that wild card spot. So, will the Chiefs make the playoffs in 2019? So, they play the Broncos and the Chiefs week 1 and 2. Now, look at this. Their next 5 games. You better start off the season good because then you go on the road to Minnesota. I don't care that they missed the playoffs. They're one of the better put-together teams, second year of Kirk Cousins. Then you're going on the road against the Colts. The Colts beat the Raiders 42-28 last year. Andrew Luck at home, pretty good. Then you got the Bears. The Bears, I'll talk about them in a little bit. Then the Packers, again, another team, 6-9-1 last year. But they have Aaron Rodgers. I will not count out Aaron Rodgers. And then on the road again at the Texans. Essentially, 5 straight road games. Like I said before, the NFL hates the Raiders. You know what I don't hate? Wager Talk. Love me some Wager Talk, and you guys will too. Get some expert picks today. WagerTalk.com/chatsports. Get started today for free with our special promo deal. If you need help getting set up, there's my real name and my IG and Twitter name, at MitchellRenz365. Slide in those DMs. I'll walk through the process. Again, it's WagerTalk.com/chatsports. Let's go to London, shall we? I promise, no teabag jokes in this one. They're going up against the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears won the NFC North, lost the Eagles in the wild card round. But let's be real. Why does this game actually matter? I should have probably just changed it to the Khalil Mack game. I want the Raiders to absolutely I want it to be like, you guys know that meme where it's like, there's a girl, there's another girl, and there's a guy? I want it to be like Khalil Mack looking at the Raiders and then looking at the Bears like, man, that's what I could have had. That's what I'm hoping for, okay? And the Bears, they're a very well put together team. Their quarterback has a great name, but I'm really hoping that the Raiders can pull this one out. In London, it would be a huge, huge win for the Raiders. So predict the score. Bears versus Raiders. And what I want everyone to do is predict your score, comment it below, and then tweet it at me, okay? If anybody gets it right, I'm going to Venmo you $5. Sound good? My Venmo also is at MitchellRenz365. All right, next team. Next game, Week 8 against the Houston Texans. Another team that made the playoffs, another team that won their division. Deshaun Watson's entering year 3. I think this is a big year for Deshaun Watson, and I know somebody before in the comment section said, Mitch, you're a Houston Texans fan. No, I'm not. I swear to you, I promise you, tuck rule, tuck that, I am not a Houston Texans fan. But when I think about the Raiders, they previously lost to the Houston Texans in 2017 in the 2016 playoffs. Like, when you think about that, you know, they're losing that series 7-4. Then you also got to deal with this guy, DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is the top wide receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. The dude has never missed a game. Never missed a game. Like, look at these numbers. 115, 96, 78, 111 catches. He is an absolute dominant receiver, and I think this will be a great test for Gareon Conley. If we want to talk about Gareon Conley being an elite cornerback, being a top 10 cornerback in the NFL, you better show up in games against DeAndre Hopkins. Now, here are the AFC South standings. The Texans, the Colts, we play. The Titans, Jags. We play all these teams in 2019. So I think it's important to recognize why I'm saying the Texans are an important game, the Colts are an important game, the Titans are an important game, and, you know, the Jags, you're not going to see them on this list, but it's still an important game. They were just in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago, and now they got a new quarterback, and that quarterback, much better than Blake Bortles. But after Week 8 against the Texans, here are the next 3 games for the Raiders. These are 3 games that the Raiders need to win. You got the Chargers. You got the Lions, the Chargers, and Bengals all at home, okay? So we have our first 2 games at home, essentially on the road until Week 9 against the Lions, the Chargers, and Bengals. You have to beat the Bengals. Chargers, that game's on Thursday Night Football. Another game where I'm telling you we have to win this home game. And then against the Lions, they were 6-10. I don't like Matthew Stafford. If, in fact, I dislike Joe Flacco, the second quarterback I dislike the most is Matthew Stafford. So, Nation, come on. We got to get that W. Now, I was talking about top wide receivers. I was talking about DeAndre Hopkins. In my opinion, he is the best wide receiver in the NFL. So I want to know from everybody watching, okay? Who is the best receiver in the NFL? I do expect to see a bunch of Mr. Big Chest, 84, and Antonio Browns, all the above in the comment section. But I want you to be honest, all right? Don't just be a homer, all right? Be honest. Best receiver in the NFL, my vote is for DeAndre Hopkins. The best deal on the internet? It's simple. It's at BetDSI. Use my promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. So, Nation, if you put down $50, you're going to get $60 for free. If you put down $100, you get $120 for free. Put down $500, math is easy, get $600 for free. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Put some money down on the Raiders winning the Super Bowl. Yeah? Am I in it? Let's get it. Let's go to Week 14 against the Tennessee Titans. And I thought about this game, and I split some hairs with them and the Jags, and ultimately I came against this. Derek Carr, he's 3-0 against the Titans. Let's get that to 4-0. But the Tennessee Titans have 3 straight years of 9-7 football, and the Titans lost to the Raiders in 2017, 26-16. Now, why does 9-7 matter? Because I said earlier on the show, I think the Chargers are going to win the division. Don't get mad at me. But with that being said, the Raiders could literally be competing with the Tennessee Titans for a wild card spot. So if with the Titans, if they're going to go 9-7 again, because obviously, you know, history repeats itself. If they go 9-7 again, that means the Raiders need to win this game because they could legitimately go 9-7. So predict the Titans' record. 3 straight years of 9-7. The years before that, 3-14, 2-14. If you think they're going to be 9-7, 10-6, this is a big reason why the Raiders need to end up winning this game. The last game here, the most important game for the Raiders, Week 16 against the Chargers. And this game's on the road. But for anybody who's ever been to a Chargers game, it's basically a home game for the Raiders. And when you're looking at Week 16, I know I said that I think the Chargers are going to win the division. But let's say the Raiders and Chargers are neck and neck. And if they're both neck and neck, this could be a legitimate game to decide the AFC West. So I know the Chargers were 12-4 last year. I think that they're a very talented team. They got a good running back. They got good wide receivers. Tight end Hunter Henry's coming back. Phillip Rivers. But if the Raiders really want to compete in the AFC West, you need to take down the Chiefs. You need to take down the Chargers. Those are the top 2 teams. So predict the AFC West standings. Who's going to come in first, second, third, and fourth? Let me know wins and losses. I want to see it in the comment section. Now, I know only my most loyal fans have made it this far, so what I want you to do is slide in my DMs on Twitter at MitchellRenz365, and I'm going to hook you up with something that I know you guys are going to appreciate. For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors, and look at this. I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.